Good morning, everyone. Brian Brown here from briangBrownonline.com. Coming to you today with a three-step process for overcoming procrastination. I think practicing in the mental health field, counseling with people, I deal with people who struggle with procrastination a lot. And there's this huge gap between the procrastination and where they want to be, getting things done. And they can't seem to overcome that. So how do we close that gap? It may seem like a daunting task sometimes to close that gap. The gap may seem so wide that it seems like the Grand Canyon, and it seems impenetrable. But it's really not. It's just a matter of having a shift in your mindset, so you're able to move through that obstacle course. We kind of grow up with this mindset that obstacles are bad, challenges are bad. They mean we're doing something wrong, we failed. We take them very seriously. And I think part of that comes from our educational system. If you don't perform a certain way, you make an F or a D or a C, or you don't get that perfect mark. And not everybody fits in the same mold. Everybody does things differently. They do things their own way. So when you look at closing the gap, I'm gonna use an acronym, G.A.P. The first thing we need to do is get control of our emotions. People who struggle with procrastination oftentimes struggle with procrastination because of lack of trust for themselves, lack of love, self-love, and maybe even just doubt. They doubt the reality or the realistic ability for this to even happen. They think, I'm dreaming a pipe dream. I hope that would happen, but it never I doubt it's ever going to happen. Look who's talking here. It's me. I've been nothing but one big failure my entire life. And those are the voices inside our head that are just those negative voices that we have to challenge on a day-to-day basis. So the first one is get control of your emotions. Get control of those voices inside your head. Start challenging those voices inside yourself. Trust yourself, because you truly have all the answers. When we can step out of the way of ourself and start thinking in a different direction, the universe will make a way for whatever it is we're trying to achieve to occur. I call it promoting to the next level. So it's like the universe will promote you when you can step out of the way of yourself. And I think that's so critical to learn. It's a lesson we all have to learn, is that we need to shelve our emotions, whatever they are. Are your emotions fear? Are they greed? Are they arrogance? Are they intimidation? And some of those you could argue are personality traits, maybe so. But regardless, we have to learn to get out of the way of ourselves. Because trust me, when you're working with people, whether it's in business or day-to-day life, if you don't have self-love, it's going to show. If you don't have, if you operate from an area of fear and doubt, then and lack of trust for yourself, it's going to show in every relationship and every interaction that you have. So that's the G. Get control of your emotions. A, take action. The best way to create certainty is to take action. And I know you're thinking, overcome procrastination. One step is to take action. Well, that's the problem I'm having, because I'm procrastinating. Well, if you take care of the first thing first, getting control of your emotions, then taking the action is the next natural step, because you have gotten out of the way of yourself and you're able to take that action. So make it a habit. Start developing new habits to take action on a daily basis. It's that daily action, that step by step. If you watch my video yesterday about Jackie Joyner Kersey and the 1/10 rule, 1/10 of a second rule, she said, if I can just shave 1/10 of a second off of my time, I'm making progress. And she worked at it every day. That's the key. She worked at it every day. We have to work at things every day when we're learning a new skill set, when we're learning a new business, when we're maybe we've been downsized from a job and we've decided to go back to school, and we've got to figure this out. We've got to find a way to support ourselves. It feels like we're a fish out of water, but we take action. We get up every day. If you're at the university, you go to the university. If you're at a new job where they're doing on-the-job training, you're getting up and going to that job. You don't feel like you know anything, but you get up and you take that action. So that's the A in G.A.P. First, get your emotions in check. A, take action. And P, permission. Oh my God. Give yourself permission to make mistakes. Give yourself permission to fall on your knees. Give yourself permission to doubt, have anxiety. All of these things are normal. Embrace them. Embrace every single one of them. The rough stuff, the challenges are there for a reason. And if you need to reframe it in a certain way, in order to overcome that, then you need to reframe it in a certain way. One way I find really helpful to reframe challenges and hurdles is to look at them like this. That's just success over there waving its hand saying, hey, I'm over here. And the more challenges I get, the closer I know I am to reaching my goals. The saddest thing I've ever seen in my entire life, whether it be in business or in real life, is people give up right before the breakthrough. And it's the worst thing ever. I mean, they do it in all aspects of life, whether it's a marital relationship or another intimate relationship that they're having. They're working on themselves. They're making improvements. The relationship is actually improving. And then they throw in the towel and give up right at the tail end, right at the finish line. I mean, can you imagine running a 1,000-meter dash and just giving up at the 999th meter? No, we can't imagine that, but we do it all the time. So those are some things that we've got to challenge ourselves with. And when we give ourselves permission to accept those mistakes and move on, ask yourself in this moment, or right then, in this moment, what can this challenge teach me? And then ask yourself the second question. If I could talk to my future self, what would my future self tell me? If I could talk to my future self, my future successful self, the vision of how I see myself in the future, the house that I'm living in, the clothes that I'm wearing, the trips that I'm taking, the pictures around the house of all the world travel, those types of things that you can visualize, walking up to the door of that house, knocking on the door, and your future self answers that, and you're able to dialogue. Your future self asks, hey, what can I help you with? And you go through that process. Do that visualization exercise. It's very powerful. Believe it or not, those answers are locked inside you. The universe has seen to that. Again, we just kind of have to get out of our own way. So I hope that's been really, really helpful today. I hope you've learned what it means to close that G.A.P. between procrastination and success, and take some massive action today. Make some changes. Give yourself permission to make some mistakes and get control of those emotions, and you'll start making headway. So you guys have a great day. Talk to you tomorrow.